I want to share with you today on this subject, choosing to change. Choosing to change. It is a powerful, positive, and pregnant statement. Because if the truth be told, no one wants change. We think we want change, but if we are honest, we always want people to change, but we resist being changed. Or your husband must change, your wife must change, Princess Twala must change, Lebo must change, this foreman must change, the union must change, management must change. Everybody wants change, but people resist being changed. Please repeat after me. The easiest way to cope with change is to help create it. In other words, nobody can push you, nobody can force you to change. So I have learned in life that it is a decision that I make. It is a decision because life is filled with choices, not chances. Every morning you choose to change. Every day, my wife is in America. Every day I make sure she knows where I'm at. Riza and I were visiting a friend at the recovery center in Port Shepstone. I told my wife, this is where I am. And then when I left, I'm now leaving. Somebody said, but your wife is controlling you. If she is, she's doing a good job, because I have learned to change. Because it was difficult as a dark man, as a black man, to change. Because I have this idea. Rule number one, as a man in daughter, I'm always right. Rule number two, if I'm wrong, let's go back to rule number one. I'm still a man, I'm always right. It is difficult. Like I said, people want people to change, but we resist being changed. So the easiest way to cope with change is to help create that change yourself. But let me be honest with you. I believe that when you change yourself, when you transform yourself, it is easy to be able to be a transformer in whatever department that you're in. Because leadership, my friend, is not the maintenance of followers. You are not a leader because people are following you. Because some of you, you are leading, but nobody's following you. So you are taking a walk, we are stroller. You are not really leading anyone. Please repeat after me. Leadership is not the maintenance of followers, but it is the ability to transform followers into leaders. And here's the key word. The key word is transform. Is transform, transcending your present form. Because sometimes in your personal life, in your home, in the workplace, it is easy to conform instead of transform. Conform means I can be content in my present form. In other words, I can suffer from a boerewors role mentality. You know, like a boerewors role mentality, I'm conforming. Tamati sauce, nayog. Anyanis, does it? You know, master does it. You're not moving, you're just conforming. Repeat after me, please. I get all I can. I can all I get. And I sit on my can. You have not moved an inch. And that is conformation instead of transformation. So all of us as a nation, we understand the old South Africa, the new South Africa. Are we yet there? No, we are not yet there. We are transforming. I remember even before those apartheid days. Isn't that amazing? Some of us, it was difficult to transform. We are always blaming and having this victim mentality. Why are you late? Apartheid. Why are you pregnant? Apartheid. Now in 2010, why are you worried about South Africa? Julius Malema. You know what is Julius? Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. It's easy to just begin to pass the buck and blame people. No. It is a choice that you change your life. Mahatma Gandhi said something powerful. He said, be the change that you want to become. Be the change that you want to become. So I'm going to talk about change in your personal life, change in your relationships, and change obviously in the workplace. Let's first of all talk about personal change. Some of us, ladies and gentlemen, we understand that changing is going to take time. It is a process. We come into the workplace, we try to change people. Please repeat after me. No one can change me. No one. Because the power to change comes from within. Now think about it. No one can change you. Because the power to change comes from within. All we need to do as leaders is to inspire, it is to influence people, but we can never change people. Let me give you an example. You can never change a person who is not willing to admit that they have a problem. Have you thought about that? You say to this person, Chief, you drink too much. Lo tshwala buzakubulala. They drank the fuel. They sing a song, they say, it's my life, it's my life. What do? There's nothing you can do. You can never change a person who is not willing to admit that they have a problem. So do you give up on them? No. You continue to inspire them. You continue to influence them in a way, because change comes from within. Here's another one. Repeat after me, please. I can never change a person who thinks that I'm their problem. See, immediately you think and you perceive me that I'm your problem, I can never change you. You can look at me, it's kind of like, shut up, yeah, I hear you. You know, you are giving me your mind, but your heart is far away from that discussion. Therefore, transformation, transcending your present form, is not just changing people, but is to inspire and influence people to do what? To change. Because change can only come from within. But David Molapo, how can I choose to change if I am a control freak? Some of us, we have a difficulty in changing because we are actually control freaks. You say, what do you mean you're a control freak? Okay, let me give you on page 21 on our latest book. Here it is. 10 ways on how to identify a control freak. Why 10 ways? Because it's 2010, okay? So nothing deep. Next year we'll talk about 11 ways, okay? So everything this year is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, to remind you are in 2010. How do you identify a control freak? Here it is. Number one, a control freak is that person who refuses to show up, who refuses to show their emotion up and to show their vulnerability. You don't want to change, so what you do is you become a control freak. You are not opening up. It's just everything is fine, like a Chinese. Are you going to go to that meeting? Yeah. And you don't say, over my dead body. You know? The second sign of a control freak is this. A control freak is a person who does not admit that they need you, but deep down they need you. They need you for that transformation, but they do not see themselves as submitting under you to say, listen, Chief, I need you. Listen, ma'am, I need you. Number three, a control freak needs you so much that unfortunately they want to control all your time. And as parents, we need to be careful. Because you go to Assmang and when you come home, you forget that you're no longer a foreman. You are a husband or a wife, a father or a mother. I've discovered that as a pastor, that when I come to my house, my son and my daughter don't need Pastor Molapo or Reverend Molapo. They don't need Dr. Molapo, PhD, passing high school with difficulties. You know, they need a dad. So when I come up there, I must not think that I must now control all their time because now daddy is here. Whoa. It is a sign that you're a control freak. Number four, a control freak can become easily upset, expressing either anger or hurt. Particularly we as guys. Men need to be careful with this whole thing of anger. Repeat after me, please. Anger is one letter away from danger. Because when you put D on anger, you have what? Danger. Most of us, we express that we are control freaks through our head or through what? Through anger. You can never lead people. You can never inspire people and influence people if you are always a person filled with hurt. Simple English, if you hold grudges. If you hold a grudge, it's as if you are drinking the poison and say, well, now, Struce God, you're going to die. No, you are drinking the poison. You will die.